Hi everybody, my name is Mackenzie. We're here at the Cioffredi Sports Performance Center. Today we're going to go through week 2 of our golf exercise progression to get you ready for the season. Today we're going to look at a little bit of disassociation, so really that bridge between mobility and starting to work our way towards strength. And this disassociation is super important to be able to create a good amount of force and power through the golf ball as you get out on the course this spring. So the first exercise we're going to look at today is all about disassociation between our mid-back or thoracic spine and our hips and pelvis. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, we're going to get into a 6-iron posture, and then arms are going to come across our chest. From here, the real important thing is that our hips stay stationary, so we don't want our hips moving with us as we do this exercise. Arms come across our chest, and we're going to rotate into our backswing and rotate into our follow-through, making sure to keep our hips stabilized the entire time. With this exercise, as you start to feel a little bit more control and confident with it, you can start to pick up the speed of the rotation. Trying to stay in that 6-iron setup position the entire time of the exercise. For this exercise, we're going to do 2 times 30 seconds. Again, trying to increase the speed as you work your way through the set. And we want to try to get to this 4 to 5 times over the course of the week. So the second exercise that we're going to look at is from the opposite end of the spectrum, and we're going to be moving our pelvis around the stable core. And so with this exercise, what we're going to do is again get into our 6-iron posture, and hands are going to come up across our chest. From here, we're going to use our lower abdominals to fall into a posterior pelvic tilt, and then reverse that curve of our spine and fall into an anterior pelvic tilt. And we're going to do this 15 times for 2 sets, trying to really control that motion into the posterior pelvic tilt and out of the pelvic tilt. What we'll see with a lot of people is as they're moving into a posterior pelvic tilt, we have a little bit of what we call a shake and bake, so those muscles aren't contracting the way that we would expect them to. And that's indicative of a little bit of weakness, a little bit of a loss of control in those muscles in our low back. This exercise is really about trying to get disassociation between pelvis and mid-back to help start our downswing and produce power through the ball. If that's not the case, what we tend to see is everything moves together and we'll see an over-the-top swing pattern where we can start to slice the ball a little bit more frequently. Exercise number 3 is very similar to the one that we just did. Again, all about moving our pelvis with a stable core. So there's a lot of progressions to this exercise, but we're going to start off with the easiest one, and then we can kind of progress from there over the course of the next several weeks. So with this exercise, ideally I'd have my driver right here, but I'm going to stabilize my upper body by holding on to the head of the driver. And then we're going to start off on my left leg first. So left leg's going to be on the ground in a slight knee bend, good golf posture. Right leg comes up and hooks behind my knee. Now from here, I'm going to rotate hips and pelvis, trying to keep upper body stable the entire time. Now you can see that this is easier said than done. A lot of times what people will find is one side is far easier to control than the opposite side. And so we do want to go over to the opposite side, get into that golf posture again, leg comes up off the ground, and then same thing, rotating through, trying to keep upper body nice and still. Just like the first exercise that we did, we're going to perform this one for time. So we're going to go for about 30 seconds for 2 sets, trying our best to keep our upper body still and stable as we're doing this. So the last exercise that we're going to do is a bridge between mobility and strength. And so starting to actually load under a little bit of rotation with this exercise. So we have a cable machine here that we're going to use. At home, you can use a TheraBand or a sport cord to help provide a little bit of resistance. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab the cable machine, and we're going to first start off kind of again in our 6-iron posture where we spend most of our time in these exercises. And then the same leg as the arm that we're using is going to just come slightly forward to help lock our hips. From here, what we're going to do, we're going to come forward into a little golf posture, allow the cable to pull us forward, and then we're going to replace our hands by reaching through. So rotating through thoracic spine. And as we get more comfortable with this, and as we can keep our hips stable, we can start to add a little bit more speed that motion. So we're gonna do 15 reps on one side, and then we can switch over to the opposite side. So right leg is gonna be forward as the cable's in our right arm, and same thing, allowing us to get pulled forward, and then replacing that hand for 15 reps, keeping our hips nice and stable, not letting them move all over the place. Thanks for following along with our week 2 exercises. Next time we see each other, we're really gonna kind of transition into more rotational strengthening to help improve our ability to rotate through our thoracic spine and hips, and with the hope of producing more power through the ball come this spring. We'll see you then. Thank you all for taking the time to watch today. These exercises are fairly generic in the sense that they're geared towards the average golfer and are going to help increase mobility for everybody. If you want a more personalized approach, feel free to give us a call and we can get you in for a one-on-one golf evaluation, which will look at your specific strengths and weaknesses and tailor a specific exercise program for yourself to keep you on the course this summer and playing the best golf of your life.